You're watching NewsView. And now, from Champaign, Urbana, Illinois, it's NewsView.
Hello and welcome to NewsView. You've probably heard by now about the 2-mile-wide tornado that wiped out Moore, Oklahoma. And in Oklahoma, it was just a devastating storm and tornado that damaged the entire area just about, killed many people, and injured some. And that was a very bad day. They had 2 days in a row of tornadic activity to the west of here. And this is Michael Badger, and you're watching NewsView from Urbana, Champaign, Illinois. Right now, getting to the first, or the next, here on NewsView comes from usatoday.com. From USA Today's Doyle Rice. As many as 11 hurricanes could form in the Atlantic this year. The federal government is predicting an above-average hurricane season in the Atlantic this year, with anywhere from 7 to 11 hurricanes expected. A typical season based on the years 1981 through 2010 sees 6 hurricanes. The Atlantic season runs from June 1st to November 30th. This forecast out Thursday from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA or NOAA, covers any storm that forms in the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico. Overall, NOAA predicts that 13 to 20 named tropical storms are likely. Tropical storms have top wind speeds of 39 miles per hour or higher. Once a storm's winds reach 74 miles per hour, it then becomes a hurricane. NOAA Chief Catherine Sullivan reports that 3 climate factors that strongly control Atlantic hurricane activity are expected to come together to produce an active or extremely active 2013 hurricane season. These are a continuation of the long-term atmospheric climate pattern, which includes a strong West African monsoon that is responsible for the ongoing era of high activity for Atlantic hurricanes that began in 1995. This era tends to last 25 to 40 years, so there are several more years of high activity expected. Warmer than average water temperatures in the tropical Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea. El Niño is not expected to develop and suppress hurricane formation. There are no mitigating factors that might decrease hurricane activity, reports Gary Bell, seasonal hurricane forecaster with NOAA's Climate Prediction Center. This month, 2 of the biggest private weather forecasting companies, AccuWeather and the Weather Channel, also predicted an active hurricane season. AccuWeather said 16 named tropical storms will form, 8 of them hurricanes. The Weather Channel also forecasts 16 tropical storms, of which 9 will be hurricanes. Last month, Colorado State University meteorologists estimated that 18 tropical storms, of which 9 could be hurricanes. Colorado State University meteorologist William Gray was the first scientist to make seasonal hurricane forecasts in the 1980s. Since 2000, NOAA's tropical storm and hurricane forecasts have been more right than wrong, but not by much. NOAA's prediction has been accurate in 7 out of the past 13 years, according to a USA Today analysis. NOAA's prediction was too low in 5 years and too high in just 1 year, 2006. 10 of the 13 have seen above average activity for tropical storms and hurricanes. Forecasters released their predictions at the Eastern Pacific Basin, where 11 to 16 named storms are expected. An average Eastern Pacific hurricane season produces 15 named storms. Eastern Pacific storms and hurricanes primarily stay out to sea and seldom affect the USA, although some storms do hit the west coast of Mexico. One Eastern Pacific storm has formed this year, Tropical Storm Alvin, which spun harmlessly out to sea. The Pacific Basin season runs from May 15th to November 30th. The Central Pacific Hurricane Basin is also expected to have a below normal season. Central Pacific hurricanes can affect Hawaii. And in other news from PCMag.com, Samsung has sold more than 10 million Galaxy S smartphones in a month. Samsung Thursday announced sales of its Galaxy S4 smartphone topped 10 million units globally less than 1 month after its debut, according to Angela Muscaretovo or something. Sorry. In fact, it took the uber popular Android phone just 26 days to reach the 10 million sold milestone. The impressive feat makes the Galaxy S4, which is $199.99 at Let's Talk, Samsung's fastest selling smartphone to date. By comparison, the Galaxy S3 reached the 10 million sales mark 50 days after its launch last year, while that smartphone's predecessor, the Galaxy S2, which is $289.99 on Amazon, took 5 months to reach the same sales milestone. And it took the original Galaxy S7 months to reach the 10 million units sold mark. Quote, on behalf of Samsung, I would like to thank millions of customers around the world who have chosen the Samsung Galaxy S4. At Samsung, we'll continue to pursue innovation inspired by and for people, unquote, Samsung's mobile chief S.K. Shin said in a statement. Launched on April 27th in 60 countries, the Galaxy S4 is now estimated to be selling at a rate of 4 units per second, Samsung said. The phone is currently available in more than 110 countries and will eventually be rolled out to a total of 155 countries. Prospective Galaxy S4 buyers can look forward to some new color variations in the coming months beyond the existing white and black options. Samsung is planning to introduce blue and red versions this summer, followed by purple and brown. The Galaxy S4 sports a 5-inch Full HD Super AMOLED touchscreen display with 441 pixels per inch and 1920 by 1080 resolution. It runs an enhanced version of Google's Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. For more, see PC Mag's review of the Samsung Galaxy S4 as well as the slideshow on their website. Also check out the Galaxy S4 versus Apple iPhone 5 specs showdown. And according to CINewsNow.com from the people at WEEK TV 25 and HOI 19 ABC News, the WEEK producer says Illinois House members have joined state senators in approving a bill to hike the state speed limit to 70 miles an hour on interstate highways. The House voted overwhelmingly to raise the speed limit with enough votes to override a veto from the governor. But the bill allows counties around Chicago and St. Louis to opt out of the 70-mile-an-hour speed limit. The action Wednesday comes as Ohio announced its increase to 70 on rural interstates beginning in July. And according to CIProud.com, WMBD TV 31 in Peoria, a Chillicothe Township resident, Nikki Bland, who lives in Chillicothe Township, and says there are still sandbags left over from the flood, and she said the township pushed them up against her property, and she says, quote, the neighborhood is still full of sandbags, tons of debris washed up, lawn furniture, and nothing is being done to help clean up, unquote, she said. Sam Wright is the highway commissioner. It's his job to get rid of the sandbags on township property. So we asked him why the sandbags hadn't been removed. Quote, usually the homeowners can take care of them and that's it, unquote, Wright said. He said someone left sandbags in the road, so he just pushed them out of the way. Wright said usually people just cut them open and dump the sand into the river. But he said with record flooding, he's never seen so many sandbags and isn't sure what to do with them. Quote, I'm going to have to call FEMA and that kind of stuff, find out if I can do that, unquote. The Environmental Protection Agency recommends quote, sand or sandbags that contacted floodwaters should not be reused in ways that would involve direct human contact, unquote, and, quote, sand or sandbags that are visually contaminated with oil or fecal matter, for example, should be disposed as waste at a landfill, unquote. Bland said she'd like to see that done sooner rather than later. Quote, help people out. I mean, people are struggling to even try to get back in their homes, and to me this is not a helpful thing, unquote, Bland said. For the EPA's full set of instructions, you can go to their website at epa.state.il.us community/community-relations/fact-sheet/flood-cleanup/index.pdf. Or you could just go to centralillinoisproud.com and look for the headline, Resident Wants Contaminated Sandbags Removed, for that link and more. The Illinois House is considering amendments on e-cigarettes for minors, according to WMBD TV. A bill to ban the sale of electronic cigarettes to minors in Illinois was back on the Illinois House Wednesday, considering Illinois Senate amendments. An e-cigarette is a battery-operated device that mimics a real cigarette and are marketed to adults as an alternative method of smoking tobacco. Also at centralillinoisproud.com, WMBD's website, a local surgeon in Peoria is the first in the world to perform a new spinal procedure. Dr. Richard Kuby, CEO and founder of the Prairie Spine and Pain Institute, created technology that performs a special type of fusion. The procedure helps severe back pain caused by problems in the joint between the pelvis and spine. He says it can help change the way patients deal with pain. Quote, so versus a large incision, hospital several days, we now have a procedure where patients walk out of here the same day they have the procedure, unquote, he said. Many of the surgeries are performed in Peoria. Recently, he presented his findings to a national conference for spinal research. And one more story before we go to our next part of Newsview. A cashier has sold themselves a $1 million ticket in Powerball, making themselves the luckiest person in the country after winning the lottery twice last week. After a ticket she sold to herself. Mary Jane Hart, 57, of Donphan, Missouri, hit for $500 on a Pick 4 ticket earlier in the week and decided to sell herself a Powerball ticket Saturday when she went into work after the jackpot hit a record-breaking $600 million. This according to Newsmax.com. Quote, I've always wanted to win a jackpot so that I could go to way more NASCAR races than I could go to, which is a lot, unquote. Hart told ABC affiliate KAIT8. KAIT8. Hart, who used to own the Heartland Pit Stop where she works now as a weekend cashier, hit for all 5 numbers except the Powerball jackpot and scored $1 million. Quote, I still didn't believe it until we got to the lottery office and the guy started shaking his head and said, congratulations, unquote, Hart told ABC News. Quote, then I knew it was real, unquote. Hart will receive about $710,000 after taxes and said she plans to take a vacation to Hawaii. Quote, that's a lifelong dream to want to go to Hawaii, unquote, she told KAIT8. Quote, I think I can do that now, unquote. Hart, who works full-time as a pharmacy technician, said she won't be quitting either one of her 2 jobs. She also has plans to spend some of the money on her children, specifically on her son David, who has a severe disability stemming from a car accident when he was 17. Quote, last week his Jeep wouldn't run, so I had to take him to get groceries and run errands, unquote, Hart said. Quote, I told him I plan on buying him a vehicle that will start every morning, unquote. Those who know her say Hart is deserving of the money. Quote, it couldn't happen to a better person, co-worker Sarah Barfield told KAIT8. She said, quote, Hart is a wonderful lady and a hard worker, unquote. A winning jackpot ticket was reportedly sold at Publix supermarket in Zephyrus, Florida as well. And that does it for this portion of NewsView. Stay tuned for the rest of NewsView and the weather as more NewsView comes tonight on NewsViews. Thanks for watching.
What makes a rainbow bend? Where does the universe end? To know the world from A to Z.
Discover science and technology.
Where is the dinosaur? What's on the ocean floor? To know the world from A to Z.
Astronomy, biology, chemistry, zoology, science and technology.
It's fun, you'll see. Why is the sun so warm? What makes a winter storm? And what's a quadruped? Why is the planet Mars red? You'll find there's lots to know, exploring as you go, to know the world from A to Z.
Discover science and technology. Astronomy, biology, chemistry, zoology, science and technology. It's fun, you'll see.
A public service message from the National Science Foundation.
From the mountains to the valleys to the skyscraper mass of metal and glass, a gracious and dignified what up to you. Welcome to Headline This on Colorado Entertainment Showcase. After college, beginning as a broadcaster in Denver is tough, but staying at the same station is the toughest, unless graduates follow Christensen and Trujillo. Check this out. Kim Christensen of KUSA NBC 9 News and Ann Trujillo of KMGH ABC 7 News. They're two longtime Denver newswomen that rock. They rock because they've taken on the monumental challenge of starting out in a large market like Denver before and after graduation from CU Boulder. And they also do behind-the-scenes work as well as on-camera work. After college graduation from CU Boulder, Christensen began at NBC 9 News in 1984, but she didn't start on camera right away. She had to work her way up to on-camera reporter in 1986 and then to anchor in 1992.
I think it is true mostly because most people don't do that. Most people start, and the majority of the people, I mean, it's really unusual for someone to start behind the scenes because they chose to start there and then try and stay in the same area and work their way up. Most people choose to go to a smaller market and work their way through smaller cities and smaller markets. So it was a backwards approach, and it just worked.
But even after a promotion to on-camera work, graduates still have to work behind the scenes, and Trujillo does just that. The longtime ABC 7 News anchor does everything from editing video to producing content. Trujillo encourages students and grads to stick with behind-the-scenes work even after a promotion to on-camera personality.
You have to know every aspect of the news gathering business. You can't, no one walks in and is an anchor. What you really need to say is, I want to be a working journalist. Because when you start, when you're at Metro, you're not just on camera, right? You're learning how to run the cameras, you are learning how to write stories, you are learning how to set up microphones. You have to know how to do everything. You need to know how to research. Becoming a working journalist means that you have to know every aspect of the business.
Just like I'm currently doing at
Exactly.
Denver Open Media.
Right.
But before graduation, the biggest challenge of all is students getting their feet wet, meaning they have to start somewhere off campus, as Trujillo did at KBNO Radio when she was a student at CU Boulder.
Get a paying job, get a paying internship, or even an internship that they have to do on their own time that is not paid. And I think the more, the merrier. If you can do 3 internships before you graduate, I think that is to your benefit, because it just means that you have experienced a newsroom, you know what the expectations are, you know what the pressures are, so it can help you decide if that really is the job you want to do. I think it's valuable even if you walk away saying, I don't want to do that. I have to work Thanksgiving and Christmas and my birthday, and I have to work nights and overnights and weekends. And a lot of people experience that and say that is not the job for me, and I think that's valuable too. But I think the more experience in a newsroom, the better, so that you can decide if it really is the job you want to pursue.
Delivering that kind of encouragement and career advice comes from experience for more than 25 years in the Denver market, which is why these 2 veteran Denver newswomen are Colorado women that rock. With Christensen and Trujillo as role models, students and graduates have a cheerful mindset of, if they can do it, so can I. Until next month on Colorado Entertainment Showcase, this is Scoop Nemeth, reminding you that life is a cheerful buffet with desserts for kicking ass, so don't fill up on negativity bread.
Hello, this is Michael Badger with your Newsview weather for this weekend. Friday night, tonight, mostly clear skies with a low of 45 degrees. Saturday, thunderstorms are likely with a high of 68 degrees. Saturday night, 51 and thunderstorms. Sunday, thunderstorms with a high temperature of 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And Sunday night, 57 with thunderstorms. I'm Michael Badger, and this has been your Newsview weather forecast for the weekend of May 24th, 2013, for May 24th, 25th, and 26th, 2013. Stay tuned for the very end of Newsview.